Hi, my name is Kailey. In this video, I will be discussing the many impacts of the thinker Jacques Loeb, one of the most influential thinkers in biology. Loeb was born on April 7, 1859, in Mayhem, which is now currently located in Germany. Loeb attended the University of Strasbourg in 1880 and obtained his medical degree in 1884, next taking a postgraduate course at the University of Strasbourg, and after that becoming an assistant in Gold's Psychological Institute. Later, Loeb moved to the USA to begin his research. Now, let's quickly talk about his views on the time period. Unlike many people at the time, Loeb was attentive on delivering a different descriptive structure to vitalism and romantic evolutionism, which during the time ruled over the majority of society's thinking. Thus, Loeb was considered a mechanist, meaning he had a machine-like idea of life, and he believed humans and other organisms operated like machines. Now that you have some background knowledge, let's talk about his relevance to the time period. Loeb was inspired by Julius Sachs' mechanical work with plants to conduct his first major experiment of the time on animal tropisms. Tropisms are movements or reactions to stimuli. Loeb's predictions proved to be true, with his experiment showing that the butterflies were simply responding to any external stimuli, in this case it was light, and had no internal instincts for food. Thus, the caterpillars always chose light and thus would die because they starved. Loeb's trials with animal tropisms showed that all organisms, including humans' behavior, is involuntary. He proved organisms do not have free will, but it can be controlled. This discovery led Loeb to continue his research further into artificial parathygenesis, as he wanted to see if it was possible to control the entire reproductive process. He exposed sea urchin larvae eggs to chemical and physical stimuli, allowing them to become a fertilized egg without the need for a sperm. From this work, Loeb revised his previous accounts of scientific explanations to state that controlling the environment is not sufficient enough for scientific accounts of nature, and thus researchers needed to start to establish the right mechanisms of nature and test those mechanisms via experimentation. Now you're probably asking yourself, what does this all mean? Fundamentally, Loeb thought a scientist needed to learn how to explain the phenomenon of humans' existence with nature via the use of chemical and physical laws. Loeb assumed this would allow biologists to learn how to control organic processes and experiments using stimuli. To advance our understanding of the psychochemical biology and individual as a whole. This was crucial at the time, as it showed that the environment, behavior, and learning can be controlled, manipulated, and tested by scientists to further our knowledge of biology, biochemistry, and physiology. Let's talk about how he influenced other thinkers in our world and the current world we live in today. Loeb's contribution to the history of behaviorism, psychology, biology, and science as a whole is immense. He set the stage for the academic time in the 20th century biotechnological advancements. His conclusions were used to help create a base in making psychological theories, such as the theory of animal behavior, which is based on the concept of animal tropisms and associated memory in animals. He proved animals can be trained with stimulus as they have an associated memory, which is the ability to learn. This approach can be seen in modern psychology, as the scientist can be in control of development of behavior or even life. He also greatly influenced John B. Watson, the father of behaviorism, who is still a very prominent figure in behavioral psychology today. By the 1960s and into the 1970s, Loeb's work on artificial parathygenesis greatly influenced Gregory Pincus and Carl Jazari, who developed other forms of reproductive technologies, such as the birth control pill and in vitro fertilization. To conclude, he contributed a substantial amount of work to the scientific community. He helped shape many new areas of science. He influenced many other thinkers and scientists who came after him, helping to further our knowledge and understanding of the world through science and nature. Loeb shaped the foundation of behaviorism in psychology with his biological view and experiments. Ultimately, Loeb's scientific work was ahead of our time.